Hello everyone, it's Bella, and today's video is a very exciting one. So I am now officially pretty much done with high school. The day that this video is going up is actually the day that I graduate, which is just crazy to me. And being in quarantine these past few months has really given me the opportunity to reflect on the past 4 years and think about how I've changed as a person. I have had a lot of good experiences throughout high school, but there have also been some pretty bad experiences as well. Good or bad, these experiences have really helped shape me as a person, and they have helped me grow into the person that I am today. So I hope you enjoy hearing about these experiences, and I am also going to get a bit political today since I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the American school system. I've been meaning to talk about that on my channel for a while now, so I figured that this would be a pretty good opportunity to do that. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see my new videos every week. So the first topic I wanted to address is my general experiences through high school, and I'm going to be specifically talking about my experience as a senior in 2020 and how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected my experience as a senior. So I'm going to start out with the good experiences that I've had in high school. I have had the same close friendships since basically kindergarten, and I just think that it is amazing, and I am so grateful that I have continued to remain friends with these people to this day. And I'm very grateful for the amazing support system that I have had throughout high school. Another thing that I'm really grateful for when it comes to my friends in high school is that we were kind of the only liberal students at my school. So let me explain. So at my school, there really isn't a lot of really liberal thinking students, but having these friends around me who think the same way that I do and have the same progressive beliefs as I do just gave me a lot of hope for the future, and it really got me through my high school years. One of my favorite things that I have gained from high school is how much that I have grown academically. At the beginning of high school, I hated studying, I hated school, and by the time senior year was over, I really do consider myself quite the study enthusiast. There is definitely a very lengthy story to how I got there, which is actually a very early video on my channel, so you can hear more about that in that video. But basically, freshman year, a lot of unfortunate things were happening to me. I developed pretty bad anxiety because I really did not do well with the transition from middle school to high school, and also one of my grandparents passed away that I was really close to, and that really devastated me. And when a lot of things like that happen, it really affects your scores and your grades, which is completely normal and that's okay. But I really did not achieve good grades in freshman year. And sophomore year is really when I discovered StudyTube, and I actually learned some really amazing tips that helped me to achieve the grades that I wanted. And that was also the year where I discovered that, wow, studying can actually be fun. And that mindset continued into my junior year, where I achieved some of the grades that I am most proud of. And senior year was good. I really didn't enjoy the classes that I had senior year though, so I didn't really get the best grades because I had physics and trigonometry, and I'm not happy with how I did in them. But that's okay because I'm not good at science or math, so that's okay. And I will talk a little bit more about my senior year experience with online school and when COVID-19 struck a little bit later in the video. So make sure you stick around for that. During high school, I was able to have a few very inspiring teachers that really helped to guide me towards what I want to do for a career. Some of my favorite experiences in general include the book club at my school. I have so many beautiful memories from that club. And also the football games. I only started going to these senior year because the thought gave me a lot of anxiety, but a lot of my close friends were there, and it was just really fun to spend an evening with them. I also really enjoyed playing on the varsity tennis team. Even though I wasn't very good, I had so much fun. And there are so many other amazing experiences, but I think I'm gonna leave it at those. So now we're going to get into the tea, which is the bad experiences that I have had in high school. Some of my bad experiences socially at school, where there was this group of friends that I really wanted to be friends with, and I put so much energy into getting all of these people to like me, which you might be able to tell was very exhausting for me since I never got the same energy reciprocated back to me. I really didn't feel appreciated by this group of people, nor did I feel cared for in the way that I cared for them. And this is nothing against those group of people. They were all really nice to me. It's just the energy that I put towards them wasn't reciprocated back, and that really caused me a lot of sadness when I didn't get invited to things or included. But now that I've been in quarantine for a couple months, I've really been able to reflect on this and realize that it's for the best, because I really want to be spending time with people that care about me. And I'm lucky because I do have some incredible people that do care about me. Next, I'm going to be talking about my school's culture. So I just want to make this clear that not all high schools are like this. So at my school, most of the student body is very right-leaning, meaning that most of the students are quite conservative in their beliefs. And in case you didn't know, I do not approve of those beliefs. Most of them are very problematic. And just to make it clear, I am a member of the Democratic Party and I am a liberal. There you go, just to get that out of the way. I also noticed that the atmosphere felt very unwelcoming for LGBT students. And honestly, one of the worst things about my school is that there is virtually zero diversity within the student body. My school is a very white school, and that's just the area that I live in. And I think diversity is one of the most important things when it comes to education. Some of the bad things about my school academically is that we are in a very low-income district, which means that we don't have a lot of funds for the school. My school only offers 8 AP classes, which is really not a lot. To put this in perspective, the average amount of AP classes that schools offer is about 30. And that really frustrates me because that really limits me academically when it comes to college applications and scholarships, because I don't have as much academic credentials to put on my resume. A lot of the teachers at my school really did the bare minimum when it came to teaching, and a lot of them really didn't care about the students. However, I did have a few very amazing and inspiring teachers that have helped me out so much. And now this is the part of the video that you've all been waiting for, my senior year experience with online school and the COVID-19 pandemic. To be honest, this year feels so incomplete. And I hope that once I get my diploma and once I graduate, I can really feel like I can break free from my high school and move on to the next era of my life. Because right now, I still feel quite trapped in the high school mindset. I am so 100% looking forward to studying next year at university. And at university, I am studying political science and I am planning on having a minor in international studies. One of the things about university that I am most looking forward to is getting an education in a very forward-thinking, progressive atmosphere. And I'm so ready to go to a school where there is an abundance of like-minded people. As for online school, I did not like online school at all. It was horrible. None of my classes had any Zoom meetings. All of my assignments were given to me through Google Classroom, which I really didn't like at all because there was literally zero interaction with the students or the teacher. So basically on Google Classroom, we were only given assignments to do and that's it. And during quarantine, the state of my mental health really prevented me from being productive or motivated, and that caused me to fall behind on my work. And also AP testing was so difficult for me because I didn't have a quiet workspace to take my exam in. And I think that students' mental health and what's going on at home really is not something that teachers take into account. So I'm probably not going to do as well with my grades from online school as I would like, but that's really out of my control because of the circumstances that were going on during quarantine. While I was doing online school, I really missed my in-person classes so much. Even though I'm really shy, I love engaging with the material and I love raising my hand. I love asking questions and having discussions with the class, and this whole experience really did help me understand the ways that I like to learn and the kind of student that I am. Overall, it was not a great experience, but I did learn a lot about resilience and adapting to any situation. And I also wanted to say that I'm so proud of all of my classmates because everyone worked so hard, and I'm just so proud of everyone for the change in AP testing because I know that was so difficult. I really think that the 2020 seniors are going to be remembered as the class that really fought against the odds and really made the best out of their situation. So for that reason, I'm very proud to be part of the class of 2020. So now I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the United States school system. Overall, it's an okay school system. I don't really have a lot of experience with other school systems, but I know that statistically we really fall behind in comparison to other countries. One of the things that I can say is very good though is that we have the fundamental right to a public education, which is incredible because I know there are some places where a lot of children do not have the right to an education. But generally in the US, the education system is not the best, and I'm going to be explaining to you why I feel that way. First of all, one of the worst things about education in the United States is the College Board. The College Board is a private company that runs the SAT and AP courses. This company has basically total control over our educations, and to me that is very frustrating. One of the worst things about the College Board is how expensive it is. Students spend hundreds, thousands of dollars preparing for the SAT and AP tests, and not to mention how expensive it is to take the tests themselves. It costs close to $100 to take the SAT, and there are extra fees if you don't sign up by a certain date, and if you want to take the test over again, that's more money, and I really hate how much we have to spend as students because a lot of colleges require that students take the SAT, and personally I think the SAT is such a poor way to measure a student's intelligence because it gives really difficult and tricky questions about just reading and math. That's it. And the questions are literally designed to trick us so we don't do as well, so we can give them more money and take it again, which is just, it really should not be that way. Not to mention that low-income students are at a disadvantage because many students cannot afford to retake the SAT multiple times. And I also know that students with disabilities are at a greater disadvantage with taking the SAT because one of the things that my guidance counselor told me is that it is very hard to get accommodations for students with disabilities. Even for something as simple as getting more time to take the math section on the SAT. And also the fact that there have been so many cheating scandals with the College Board. It's just really frustrating how very wealthy students can use money to cheat on these exams. It is a very messed up system that I do not approve of. And overall, the worst thing about the College Board is that they're just profiting off of children. It's baffling to me how this company is still able to stay running. However, there is a lawsuit against them because of the online AP tests, and a lot of students were not able to submit their tests. And another part of the lawsuit, I believe, is that it is in violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And I really hope that this is the first step to the downfall of the College Board because I really want to see that happen in the future. I would personally prefer a system for the United States that is similar to the UK's education system because I really do generally just prefer that. Another really horrible thing about the US school system is the educational inequality that is present here. So based off of just your address, where you live, you can have a completely different education, better or worse, than someone who lives a half an hour away from you. For example, I live in a very low income school district. That means we don't have a lot of resources, my school is very small, and we don't offer a lot of classes to choose from. Meanwhile, there's a school 10 minutes away from where I live, but it's not in my district, that is massive. It is a very wealthy school, and there's a plethora of classes to choose from. They offer so many AP courses, and it's just so baffling how there is such a massive difference between my school in the school that's 10 minutes away from me. The amount of educational inequality that exists in this country is just awful, and I really want to change that in the future as I go into my political career. Even in general, there is very low funding for education in this country, and I think that needs to change. When a student is in a school that has lower funding than other schools, there are significantly less extracurricular activities and clubs to join. For example, I've always wanted to do a debate club, but my school doesn't offer one, unfortunately. And there's also the fact that students in low-income schools are much less prepared to go to college. Because, as I mentioned earlier, when there's less classes available at a school, then a student does not have as much academic credentials as there would be at a bigger school. Another thing that really frustrates me is that in America, high school students don't get to choose their subjects. We basically just have to take core subjects throughout high school, and those core subjects include math, reading, history, and science. And students are not able to zero in on subjects that are interesting to them. For me, if I had it my way, I would never take math again. But with the American school system, I have to. One of the reasons I prefer the UK school system is because with A levels, I believe, students are able to choose 3 or 4 subjects that are really interesting to them. So for me, for example, I would probably take literature, politics, and history. And I really wish that I was able to do that here, because I think I really would have been able to thrive more as a student. And another problem that the US education system has is the lack of qualified teachers. Teachers really aren't paid very much here, so that means that there is a really high demand for good teachers, but there are not a lot of people becoming teachers for this reason. And those are pretty much the basics regarding the American education system. If there is something that I didn't cover that you would like to see me cover, I can talk about it in a video in the future. Maybe I'll do a Q&A. I think that would be really fun. So if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments. And also comment down below if you have any more questions for me, because I would be happy to answer them. So I hope you all found this video useful and informative, and that it may have helped you to get to know me better. Everyone's high school experience is different, but I believe as a 2020 graduating senior that my high school experience is very unique and special. So I really wanted to share that here with you all. I also hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the American school system and my opinions on it. So remember to like, subscribe to my channel, and push the notification bell if you enjoyed this video, as it really helps to support me and my channel. I upload 2 new videos every single week on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time!